What's good guys, TygeR here, welcome back to the channel. I want to jump straight into this video because I am so excited to talk about it because I've been watching a lot of YouTubers talking about Black Ops 4 and they keep talking about all the different features, but I'm not really seeing anyone really talk about what all of these features mean and how the game is going to play, and that is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to be analysing everything that we have heard so far about Black Ops 4 and really go into detail about how this game is actually going to play out when it arrives in October. Okay, so firstly, let me just read off some of the main features that we have heard about after the Black Ops 4 reveal. Okay, so we've got 150 health, longer time to kill, manual health regeneration, 5v5 instead of 6v6 in public matches, smaller maps, predictive recoil, that's a big one, specialists, and also one that kind of went under the radar is grenades regenerate over time. You don't get spawns necessarily when you just spawn up, so the reason why they've added this in is so then there's not many like random people throwing grenades as soon as they've spawned up. Obviously these maps are now smaller now, so obviously grenades are going to be able to hit people as soon as you spawn up. You can just throw them and instantly get kills, so I'm really happy about that, but we'll go into more detail with that as well. So with all of these things, this is going to, all of these big things, big changes in Call of Duty, is going to change a lot about the game and the way we play it. So one thing that I want to make very clear, guys, from all of this is Black Ops 4 is going to be harder to play. I want to make that very clear. I'm not hearing anyone talk about this at all. Black Ops 4 is going to be one of the hardest Call of Duty games to play because there are so many things that you're going to have to think about and do in this game. It's going to be a lot harder for the player who is not as good as the game. I think the skill gap is going to be a lot bigger. Why a lot of the competitive players and a lot of the people who are good at the game and play a lot of the game are really excited about the changes. Personally, I think these changes are amazing and I think we are in for a very good year. Depending on how you guys play the game, whether you're worse at Black Ops 4 or better, I think you're definitely going to enjoy the game a lot more because it just looks like there's a lot going on here. But my thoughts on Black Ops 4 is going to be later. I'm going to do a dedicated live stream. This video is going to be all about just how Black Ops 4 is going to play out. So with now 150 health instead of 100, the time to kill is also a lot longer. So we're going to have to be on target when shooting at the enemy a lot more. So that's the first part of the skill gap. We're going to need to hit more bullets in order to get kills. So I mean, this might not be for hardcore players. I'm pretty sure hardcore is going to be very similar. Might be a little bit different, but for us core players, what's the most of us here, it's going to be a lot harder to get kills. We're going to need to hit more shots. We're going to need to stay on target a lot more. Also, one of the big changes is the manual health regeneration. We're going to have to press a button, I think it's the left bumper before the trigger, what is to regen our health. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if our health actually regens over time, like after a while. But I know if you want the big boost of health regeneration, you have to manually do it. And you can also have your gun up at the same time, what is also a very good feature. So now that we are responsible for regenning our own health, this is another skill gap. This is going to separate the bad players from the good players, because the good players are going to know when they need to regen their health. It's just like reloading a weapon. We're doing the exact same. Also, your health bar and the enemy's health bar is on screen. With our health bar, we actually see the number, but when we're actually shooting the enemy in Black Ops 4, you actually see their health bar go down, so you're consciously going to know how much health you have and how much health the enemy has when you're shooting at them. Another feature that I didn't talk about is obviously guns up. That is something that they expressed very much in the conference, in the reveal, is it's guns up. What means whenever we do something, whenever we like throw a grenade or heal ourselves, our gun is constantly up. It will probably be hip fire. Also, swimming in the water is back as well now in Black Ops. Obviously, Black Ops 3 was the first one to do that as well. But it's guns up, so no matter what we do, obviously it's not going to be reloading. If you're reloading, you can't shoot. But if we're doing anything else, we're going to have our gun up. We're going to be able to still shoot. So that is great as well. But regarding the health and the longer time to kill, There's also a feature as well, guys, in the gear section, what is body armor, and I'm pretty sure it gives you reduced damage for the first 50 health points. I'm pretty sure that is correct. I'm not too sure. Obviously, we'll have plenty of videos on this channel about Black Ops 4 when it gets closer, but I know it's something like that. So that makes it even harder to kill you as well. So with all of these things, with longer health, longer time to kill, the game is very fast-paced as well. It means that these gunfights are going to be extended. They're going to be long gunfights, what means you have more time to react and make a conscious decision on how you're going to play out this gunfight. So if you're familiar with my channel and you've watched my videos all about how to win gunfights, how to aim, positioning, all of these things, these are going to be so much more important in Black Ops 4 because we have longer in the gunfights to make these changes. So if you're being shot from behind, you have more time to go in cover. You have more time to turn around and kill someone with your sensitivity. It's going to be a much bigger difference, guys. It's going to be who is the most accurate person and who is the most skillful. With any game where the health bar is bigger and it takes longer to kill someone, it means the more accurate you are, the more you're consistently accurate, the better you're going to do than everyone else. So it's going to be all about your sensitivity. I think a big thing as well, actually, this is something that I've just thought about, is the fact that it's now longer to kill. We're going to have to be more accurate. I think we're going to see less people with high sensitivity because high sensitivity is good for snapping on people, but to be consistently on them is going to be very hard. So I think we're going to see a lot of people with those high sensitivities bring it down slightly in order to constantly stay on their mark, to stay on their target. And also because it's a longer time to kill, we don't need to instantly turn around in order to shoot the other person. We've got more time to play around with, so we don't need that insane reaction time with the insane sensitivity. We're going to be able to play a lot smarter and a lot more controlled. Another thing to add on all of this as well is predictive recoil, what means the recoil patterns of these guns are going to be a lot more consistent. That is what this means. So for example, there are plenty of guns in this game, and not just this game, not just World War II, but in every Call of Duty game, where you can shoot the weapon and it might veer off left, it might veer off right, it might just stay dead center, it might just go up a little bit. You know, the recoil is not predictable, and in Black Ops 4 they're bringing predictive recoil into the game. What is perfect, it's a great thing. It's something that has been in a lot of other successful FPS shooters like CSGO. You know exactly where your hit markers are going to go, and this is something that is great for Call of Duty because with predictive recoil, hence the name predictive, it means it's going to be more consistent, so the better players who are more accurate are going to benefit. Okay, so let's talk about another big change. 5v5 instead of 6v6, and also smaller maps. Now I just want to make it very clear, I guarantee it's going to stay 4v4 for competitive and for league play. I'm pretty sure that will not change. I'll be very, very surprised. But because they've brought smaller maps, what makes the game a lot more faster paced, they've brought out the slide as well. The slide is backed instead of the dive. The game is very fast-paced, and we definitely saw that. And they were saying that a lot of the YouTubers and big influencers who went out to play the game, they were saying from the break, from the start of the game, you get into gunfights very, very quickly. So there's going to be a lot going on in this game. Because they're smaller, there's going to be less places to camp, less places to hide. If you're staying in just one corner, you're going to be found a lot faster. And because there's more health, because it's going to take longer for you to kill them, if you start shooting at them, they're going to have more time to find you and kill you themselves. So camping is also something that is going to be harder to do. What means this game is going to benefit the better player. So guys, we literally need to sweat out COD World War II, improve our accuracy, improve everything we can for the game in order to be good in Black Ops. And also with the new Battle Royale game mode, a lot of you guys will probably be interested in that as well. If you want to be good at that as well, we're going to need to get good at this game before Black Ops 4. Okay, so the next feature, specialists. They've brought out specialists, what was the exact same what they did in Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 started specialists, and IW, like Infinite Warfare, kind of did it as well. And specialists, I think is good. I think it's good for competitive. I think it's fun for casual play. And a lot of the specialists that they teased, that they shown, had a lot of really cool things. And I think this is what we were talking about when the rumors came out that that Call of Duty was going to be like Overwatch, a lot of people overreacted. And I said in my live stream, I said, look, it's not going to be anything like Overwatch. It's just going to be a stronger version of what we saw in Black Ops 3. Like, when I mean stronger, I think more impactful is what I mean. And this is exactly what we're getting now. This is exactly what we're getting now. Specialists are a lot more impactful, and you're going to need to make more of a conscious decision on which specialist best suits you. And you also might change your playstyle as well. Specialist is also in a draft system now. So when you start the game, you're going to choose your specialist. You're going to pick your specialist from your team. I'm pretty sure you're going to take it in goes to pick your specialist, just like they do in a lot of other games like League of Legends and Overwatch. You pick your character before the game. It's exactly like that. So you might not get Ruin, who has the grapple gun and the gravity spikes. You might want him, but you might not get him. What means you need to be good with all of them. And this is going to create a skill gap as well. We're going to need to be good at all of these different specialists. We're going to need to be able to play a really good medic and a good fire break and a good ruin and whatever all the others are called, or we're going to find out later. But, you know, what my point is, with these new features, you know, we're going to have these new cool things, you know, like a grapple gun, like the gravity spikes, these big, possibly game-changing abilities. We're going to need to be good at them. And when we spot an enemy, we're going to need to know what specialists they have. For example, I know I'm just using Ruin as an example for everything here, but you get my point. For example, if we see an enemy Ruin player, we need to be wary that he might grapple hook and then gravity spike towards us, or he might grapple gun away if he's in a bad position. You know, we're going to need to consciously think about, when we see the enemy, what specialist are they, and do they have their special ability up? All of these things, guys, as you can probably tell by how I'm saying it, it's going to make the game a lot harder to play. So I think we're going to have a lot of people who are actually going to be pretty upset with Black Ops 4. Obviously, it's going to have that honeymoon period where everyone's loving the game and thinks it's the best. We have that every single year. But when the game starts to get, you know, a few months down the line, you know, when it turns 2019, you know, a few months in, we're going to really kind of like understand the game and get an idea of, you know, do we enjoy this or do we not? And I think a lot of the people who take the game very casually, you know, they don't take it seriously, or maybe they're new at the game, or just not very good. They're below average. It doesn't matter who you are. I think these people can potentially not enjoy the game as much because it's going to be harder for them. For example, if you have a bad shot, if you struggle with your accuracy, then don't expect Black Ops 4 to be easier than World War II. One thing that was mentioned on the podcast that I completely agree, we have had two very, very simple games. Infinite Warfare and World War II, gameplay wise, were fairly easy and fairly simple, especially World War II. That is one thing that they definitely wanted to do, is to make the game very simple. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's fairly good. I don't have a problem with World War II. You guys that watch me, you know I like World War II, but I'm really looking forward to the complexity of Black Ops 4. So I think the fact that we've had these very simple games, I know IW was jetpacks, but the gameplay features was very basic, and World War II is very, very basic. You know, they tried to go back to traditional gameplay. I think it's going to be a big change. Even though we don't have jetpacks, the fact that how this game is going to be played is going to be very different, guys. So we need to keep that in mind, and we need to keep everything else in mind as well. We need to understand that this is going to be a hard game to play, and I don't hear many people actually saying that. Like I said at the start of the video, so many people are just telling you, oh, this is this feature and this is this, but no one's telling you what it actually means. And I really hope that this video helped you understand Black Ops 4 a lot more, so you can get a good understanding of what we're going to expect when the game launches. But also, this is alpha build, so some of these things might change. When I mean change, they might be like buffed and nerfed rather than removed. I think we're going to see everything that we saw at the reveal, but it might just be a little bit different. They might not be as strong or as weak as what they are at the moment. But anyway, that is it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of me and listen to more of my tips and tutorials on how to play Call of Duty, then you might want to consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notifications to stay updated on all my latest content. But that is it from me today, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.